Hello everyone, we are Group 17th. There are the members of our team, and this is the table of contents. The theme of our group is from the choices faced by the epidemic to how to develop corporate sustainable DNA. Forward. What is business ethics? In short, business ethics refers to the standards for morally right and wrong conduct in business. It is relevant to individual behavior and organizational behavior. At the same time, business ethics is the values of a company uphold throughout its operations. Corporations establish business ethics to promote integrity among their employees and gain trust from key stakeholders, such as investors and consumers. However, the company would have to make decisions between personal gain or public profit while facing with strategy problems. In the following pages, we will give some examples to illustrate that today's strategy issues are affected by the pandemic. Moreover, we will demonstrate the conflict between personal gain and public profit. Define what is good strategy in 2 ways, and offer a problem solution after finding the core of the problems. In part 3, I'm going to talk about choices under the impact of the COVID-19. For example, recently, Taiwan is deeply affected by COVID-19. A group of employees in an electronic factory faced clusters infection problem. It immediately faced with the struggle between supply pressure and suspending work and cleaning up. From the perspective of enterprise, the whole production will immediately face economic losses such as the decrease of production capacity and delivery pressure. However, compared with more employees and local residents, may increase the risk of infection, causing greater medical load and production interruption problems. From the above, it is not difficult to judge whether the loss of self-interest or public interest is more important. Let's move on to my next point, to compare the difference between private interest and public interest. Private interest is the pursuit of individual profit or the welfare requirements regarding to labor relations. Nevertheless, public interest is abide by the laws, moral, environmental, economic responsibility, and so on. The reasons for decision-making conflicts include social ethics, professional ethics, competitive pressure, managerial attitude, and organizational structure. Turning to my final point, I'd like to point out what is good decision. To develop corporate sustainability under the epidemic. For management should make good use of build-out resources to enable employees to sustainably develop their strength. In addition to having sustainable thinking, management also need to participate in person and demonstrate the determination of operator. I'll turn it over to the next person to report.
The main cause of the dilemma. Corporate ethics is not deeply rooted in the heart of the employees. It is precisely because Every decision made by an enterprise will have a large and multi-layer impact on the stakeholders. Therefore, only when values such as corporate ethics are established within, we can truly make sustainable actions. When employees have corporate ethics, they will know why they do what they do when they face the requirements of sustainability issues at work, instead of just doing it as a core to deal with sustainability reports. Part 7. Corporate Sustainability. Only with corporate ethic can we achieve sustainable development. Corporate ethics and corporate sustainability are two aspects of each other. The former emphasizes the establishment of intrinsic sustainable values, while the latter is the actual behavior of the enterprise, and is gradually developed into a long-term operation model. The corporate of ESG investing began around 2000. However, not all companies are taking immediate steps to transition to ESG compliance. Until the outbreak of the epidemic, it was like the army is under the city, which directly affected the survival of enterprises and made everyone realize that the global economy is actually fragile. Enterprises that are lucky enough to escape the disaster are warned of irresistible risk. For example, sudden epidemics, climate change, environmental protection issues, etc. are all business risks. Only by activities facing them and taking risk management into consideration can enterprises maintain sustainability. ESG corporate sustainability can be explained as three orientations: E, which is environment; S, which is social; G, which is governance. ESG can be said to be a substantive action for enterprises to fulfill their social responsibilities, so that enterprises have a direction to implement. E, environment. Enterprises' protection of climate, ecology, and environment, such as water, waste, and gas waste treatment, saving energy consumption, etc. As for social, the intention is to hope that companies can have the responsibility to participate and make efforts within their abilities to support human rights, maintenance, good community relations, employees, wage and benefits, and customer protection. And that's one. G for governors. The management and operations of the company by the board of directors, company decision makers. External and internal risk management, maintenance of stakeholders relations, rights and interests of supply chain manufacturers, and safety of labor and working environments, etc. Part 8 is our last part. Conclusion. Corporate ethic is not deeply rooted in the heart of the employees. Business ethic means that any business must be run for profit in a lawful manner. And business ethics management is of great significance in today's world. It is a necessary measure for enterprises to ensure their own competitive advantages. And on the other hand, it is also an extremely important point in social development. And the last part, which is it is critical for enterprises to strike a balance between economic benefit and business ethics especially under the COVID-19 epidemic. And this is our final report. Thank you for listening.